all fine folks. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
I'm Mike Felicio.
Welcome to Crowdsurfing, a show about, projects on various platforms, but mostly just Kickstarter today. We have one backer kit.
We have
One backer kit.
Do we have a GameFound? I don't
maybe
know
we
that
did.
We don't. So what I did is,
I'm
moving GameFound. I'm trying to do the same thing I'm doing with Kickstarter. For a while we were doing every GameFound.
Yeah.
Now I'm moving to ones that are ending in the next eight days or so, or 9 days. So that kind of, we'll have some GameFounds probably next week.
Okay.
Got it.
Backer Kit's a little weird for me right now because they have some big game projects, but they also have some really weird stuff on there because they're opening it up to everything like Kickstarter. It's not just games. There's some stuff on Backer Kit. I'm like, huh. But maybe it will show up at the end of our thing sometimes. We'll start seeing some Backer Kit stuff. Not yet.
I haven't really looked, I gotta say, except for what we do here on the show.
Yeah.
I haven't browsed Backer Kit.
I have not either.
Haven't made my way over there.
Well, welcome. I'm supposed to tell you that if you back the Dice Tower Kickstarter in the year of our Lord 2022, you need to go fill out the GameFound thing like now because we're closing it in 2 days.
Yes.
And people never fill them out, and then they complain and yell at us, and we're like, you should have filled it out, and we told you to fill it out, and I put up a Kickstarter update, tell you to fill it out, and there's not much more I can do. Fill it out.
Fill it out.
If you don't know where
Get
it
it
is,
Make me
done.
break
check
into
your
your
spam
house,
filters. It's
You
there
already-
somewhere.
drag you
Right.
to your computer,
Or just
force you to log in, and fill it out. You don't want me to do
You're
that.
going to do that. You're going to see
You
like
would.
200 icons on the screen. You'll be like, 800 tabs open.
Be like, clean this up, fill it out.
if you have any problems with it, you can email me at kickstarter@dicetower.com. I can help you find your pledge or whatever if you need, but do it.
Kickstarter at dicetower.com is the address?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're down to 15
great.
rooms on the cruise. We are down
Hey.
to, we still got plenty of room at Dice Tower East and Dice Tower West, but they will both sell out, and you want to come. It's going to be great. Make your
so
plans
good.
now.
All of the games we're adding to the library.
fun.
Oh my gosh,
It's a
already.
hot year.
It is
Already
a
great
good
library.
year.
We had a game in the
Yes.
library almost every day at this point.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we're
it's a-
having to get rid of good games to put these in.
Right.
I was recently, I'm going to be as vague as possible, looking at another board game library, and I thought, man, mine's so much better.
Oh my gosh. Humility.
So
Who
I,
could it be?
I am.
I'm never inviting you over again. Okay, let's start right there.
That's right.
I am humble. I try to. I am humble. I'm the humblest person. No, but I mean, I tried. But about the library, I'm sorry. I will not be humble. We have a great library.
It is that good. It is.
Library is your
Super chat from
Yeah,
Monica.
thank you, Monica.
From
Thank you.
Colorado. All right. So we're gonna take a look here at some projects, and we'll see if we think they're interesting.
Let's do it. It's a good week. Overall, it's
Man.
been a
It
good
is.
week.
It's a tempestuous week.
I've been telling anyone who'll listen and plenty who won't that there's probably 4 or 5 games that on other weeks would have been my picks of the week.
Yeah.
Like this is a really
This is
good
hard.
week for me. Yeah.
It
and,
is- it is
upcoming
Starting with
weeks-
this one right here, Mike.
Life of the Amazonia.
I will not say at this point whether this is a pick of the week or not, but I will
Is this
tell
your
you.
pick of the week?
I will tell you on many weeks it would be. It might be this week. We'll find out. This is coming from Bad Comet, who.
Oh, I saw this one. I was like, this looks very familiar.
Yeah.
A guy in our game group was playtesting this a few weeks ago.
Interesting.
nice.
Okay.
Okay.
I have not seen an early copy, but this is like a follow-up to the Wild Serengeti. It's a different game, but it's got a similar feel, kind of a spatially, puzzly with these screen-printed wooden animals that are gorgeous.
This is also about taking pictures.
I don't.
I did not pick up on that, so I don't think so.
I don't think it
No,
is.
just the
No.
same company. You can see. Apparently, they listened to none of my criticism about the stupid 3D board. I know it looks cool, but
Yeah.
man, it's a pain on the table.
Yeah, it's.
That being said, from early reports, I've heard that this is more strategic.
Yeah.
Wild Serengeti's pretty as all get out.
I really did not like that game.
Yeah,
so
I didn't like
I
the
figured you would
game.
not like it.
I thought it
But-
was fine, the game, but it's very. First of all, it's
Too long.
Too long.
yeah.
And there's a lot of randomness and a lot of tiny icons. I'm hoping that they
Yeah.
listen to a lot of that as they put this one together. But
This one I think is a bag builder.
It's a bag builder with some different tracks that you're
Yeah,
going up. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. The bag building aspect of it really kind
it
of caught
looks
me.
great.
I will tell you, I am backing this one.
Are you getting the wooden
What a shocker.
version with the wooden trees?
Are you asking me
You
that
better
question?
get-
Are you
let me
seriously
rephrase.
asking me
you
that
better
question?
be kidding.
Am
Yeah,
I
the two
backing
trees, the
wooden?
cardboard, two things stuck into each other trees. I'm over that look, I gotta tell you.
But there's a
That double
wooden
bottom.
version.
Yeah, there's a wooden
and
tree,
it's a
cool.
little
But
wooden tree.
if you have these animals, wooden, screen
Yes.
printed, very
Yeah.
cool looking animals, and then you have those like that, No. What is this? A Nintendo 64? No.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me.
doesn't
I
bother
hate
me.
everything about that.
I
Look
like
at
it.
the wooden ones. Where are they at? They look.
Show me the wooden trees.
Do you want to see everything fits in the box?
look
This
at
makes
that.
me happy.
Ooh.
Although this always worries me. See that
it's a
right
lie.
there? No. I hate that last part. The 3D thing you have to take apart to put in a box. I hate that. It's going to break after a while.
Yeah.
And after a while, I mean, like 4 or 5 plays. That always happens.
Well, we'll see.
You're defending it for no reason. You know I'm right.
Michael let you
Let me
know.
see them trees.
You tend to be
Did you see the-
overly
the
Either a
giant
tree or a
otters?
manatee.
upgraded. There we go.
Let me see.
Look
Where
at
are the
right
trees?
there. They're right there.
The little pretty
Oh,
squatty
there, okay.
trees.
Look, there's fat trees and thin trees.
No, there's trees standing up and trees on their side.
Oh. Okay.
right there.
There.
Those
there's
are
a-
okay trees.
They're fantastic. What are you talking about?
I like it.
You guys
with
are
a little
screen
muff.
printed animals, though.
I-
All of you, both of you.
Yeah, I-
love screen printing things.
I really
like
do.
It could be
I like-
anything.
I like screen
Like, it could
printing.
be checkers, and they're like, yeah, but the pieces are screen
I
printed.
want
But I
to
think-
get side printing here because that trunk needs to be brown on the
I
bottom.
agree. When are we going to upgrade our game, folks?
Oh my god.
None of this screen printing. I want a wrap.
That's right. That's a good
Wrap
idea.
it around the tree.
Now let me ask you this: do you like these tokens over, say, them being shaped like? See, they're all round.
I see
Instead
that.
of being apples and leaves and water droplets.
Yes, because it's a bag builder.
Right. That's the thing. It's
Oh,
a bag
okay.
builder.
Okay, well, never mind. Take back my let me take my
Stupid
question.
comment.
Let me take my question back.
But on a grand scale, it depends on the game. Sometimes I like the shaped one. Sometimes I don't.
Look at this. It requires assembly. Does not store in the game box. Okay, I will give you this. You're telling us this.
There's
Right.
that. Yeah. let
But
us know.
I hope that you don't have to assemble it, that you can just
Also,
put those 3 boards down and play
Also,
them.
you can. This is a wooden version of it, and that's not going to break.
I know, but
cardboard
I'm still not
Do
a
you have to
fan of
build it
having
each
to
time,
build
then?
it each time.
It's a matter of
Do you know?
fold it and pop it on. I don't think it's like a
Fold
huge
and pop?
build.
I don't know.
I don't think it's a huge thing. It's not as much assembly as like the Everdell.
I'm going to write this.
Oh, got it.
Are you sure that looks like the same amount of
No,
assembly as the
because
it
Everdell
looks
Everdell
like
tree?
that.
tree, you got to slot and you
Yeah.
got to put on the 2 things. This one, it looks like you just fold and pop.
Fold and
Alright.
pop.
Fold and pop.
Well, either way.
TM.
I mean, other than that, I'm very excited about this game.
Yep. I think it looks great.
All right. Delta. Well,
Now
Game
this
Brewer,
one, this one looks great to me. But it's Game Brewer.
I know. That's why I was.
And I have concerns and worries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last Game Brewer game I played, I'm not a big. I don't think I'm necessarily in their target audience. Okay, they tend to make games that are heavier than what I go for. But the last one I did play was a stunning looking game, one I was interested in, and ended up being one of the worst games I've played in a long time.
That game was
Rule Benders.
terrible.
Oh, that
Yeah.
one.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Now, I liked Stroganoff,
Yeah.
but there were production issues. Relatively significant production issues. And so, yeah, they're going to have to, Game Brewer, I think, is going to have to win some people's trust back.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
And I hope they do. Look, I mean, I don't think
I'm
any of
hoping
us
this
is
is the
rooting
one.
for a publisher to do poorly.
course.
Right.
no,
of
but
course
let's take a
not.
look at what. Hang
But
on.
like the
I
gameplay
am
of this
human.
one, the gameplay of this one, and the theme,
looks a little
I
heavy
think
to me.
it's
Great.
like I think it's really neat.
So let's take a look at
theme
the
is
games
great. The
they've
look
done.
is great.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping it's a fantastic game
Right.
because
Right.
it looks like a
We have
heavy Euro with a cool,
Right.
a cool theme
Right.
around it.
So we haven't played Hippocrates yet.
We haven't, but we haven't played
Stroganoff, we thought was.
I liked
you
it
liked
the
it the
best.
Liked
most.
it.
Yeah.
I thought it was more fiddly. Rule Benders, we all thought was pretty
it.
terrible.
Terrible.
I don't think anyone here played Arkwright, the card game.
Maybe Chris or
Paris
Wendy
is good.
Paris is good. I like that.
did. That was canceled. Gugong.
Gugong people like. Fujikaro is not good. Chimera Station, was that them? They did it with TMG.
Euro edition, yeah.
Okay, well, there's several games that are not being kickstarted that are not on this list too.
Well, also, yeah,
Where's
Oak.
Oak?
Where's
But Oak was,
Palaces of
Oak was
Carrara?
kickstarted.
Or was it GameFound? I think it was on
GameFound.
GameFound.
That's why.
I think they go back and forth.
Oh,
Because there was Palaces of Carrara,
Yeah.
there's Oak, there's a number of games that we're not seeing.
What's
right
that about? Why would you go back and forth between them? I
Maybe-
understand moving. I understand
No.
changing.
It
But
might
back
be a-
and forth?
It might be a practical issue. You're not supposed to have multiple things on.
for good reason.
I'm telling you. I mean, I'm just saying that might
Yeah.
be why.
I mean,
Yeah.
in their defense too, they might be switching back to Kickstarter. Maybe they tried GameFound, they're coming back. I mean, we're not in their
Well,
shoes.
I have a lot of strikes on Game Brewer, not to the point where I won't play this. but I don't know that I'll back it because of those things.
No, I think
Proceed
it's
with
doing.
caution.
It's interesting that it is actually not doing that well. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's a game brewer reflection, on
wonder.
them or what it is. It's funding. It has about 40 hours to go, but it's not doing great. It's doing fine.
I don't think it's doing as well for what I expected it to, looking at the gameplay and looking at the theme. I mean, because it kind of was almost giving me a Lost Ruins of Arnak vibe, except for you.
Looks much heavier.
Steampunky, right?
Much heavier, yes,
Yeah.
but also you're building your people and sending them out, and then they go out. But kind of had that exploration vibe, but just the artwork, the steampunk, but also bringing nature and exploration into it, just a really cool mesh of things. So I think that's the disconnect for me, is it's not doing as much as I would expect with those things looking so good and on point. So is it Game Brewer?
You know what I think? For me, it's not so much that their games are bad, because again, I like a lot of their games, like Paris. I enjoyed that a lot. It's that they have so many games that I'm excited about,
Right,
then just pull the rug out. That Fuji Koro game looked like it was a dungeon crawl with like Chinese dragons, and it looked like you made your own little swords, Minecraft style. Looked amazing, and it was just a mess.
Yeah, that's a shame.
A more recent one, which I may be reviewing soon, also feels like a mess, and then Rule Benders was just
That was just
abysmal.
terrible. Yeah, I really did
Yeah,
dislike that. Game.
my hopes are, I'd like to like this one, but my hope right now is a bit low.
All right, well, you know what? Maybe in a year we'll come back and be like, it was great. We were
It's
wrong.
great.
tell you,
Yeah,
I
I'd
mean,
love to say it's great.
One or two really good games in a row could be enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need,
Yeah.
but you need to regain some of that support you may have lost.
This is one.
I
The way
agree.
this one looks, the mechanisms behind this. This is one. Even knowing it's Game Brewer, I want to play. This is one that I'd be
I
excited
agree.
to get my hands on.
All right.
All right, Monsters the Dead. Now, other than this amazing artwork, this is Joey Vigor, who did a game called, was it Howl, I think?
Oh, that's right.
Howl, right. He did a game called Howl, which was a game that was like so much better than Werewolf it wasn't. They remade that game as a Stranger Things Attack of the Mind Flayer from Asmodee, actually.
Right,
I've not
right.
played that version.
I have not either.
I don't know how to say this, but this is one time where I think the art completely destroys any interest I might have in the game. I really hate this cover a lot.
I think it looks terrible. I don't know how else to put it. It looks very, very... There's a difference between kind of DIY aesthetic and that just doesn't... This doesn't look... I don't know. It just doesn't look good
I feel
to
like
me.
they're trying. I mean,
And those look like fake smash-up cards. Sorry, Camilla.
they do. No, you're fine. No, you
do!
are right. Yeah. I do feel like that what they're trying to do is take kind of this gruesome horror theme and fit it to a light, easy, quick kind of party game kind of style. And so that's why they went with this artwork. It's definitely not in my personal taste, but neither is the game.
Yeah.
I don't mind the light style. And this is going to be very personal, I guess, pointed at this particular artist. I just don't think this is good art.
Yeah.
Like, there's ways to do things that are cute and look great. We have lots of games that have cuteness.
Yeah.
Like, for example, in my Horrified, I bought little Funko
Right, the Funkos.
things. They look cool.
Right.
These don't.
Right. This looks a little too, I don't know, maybe rendered to me or something. You know, again, it's not my style at all.
Also, don't make a giant box when you haven't earned it yet. It's like a giant box will fit all future sets and expansions. Like, dude, this is a small little game here.
Huh, yeah.
That being said, the game is they're trying to compare it to Fantasy Realms.
Yeah, it's like you're playing cards, but you end up with just 2 cards at the end of the game, right?
And you're trying to use those 2 cards to force somebody else to play something that you can take out. You know, so it's like a...
Right.
I tried to follow what was going on in the description. I couldn't quite figure it out. But yeah, it's this idea of you have a baddie, a monster. I have the weapon to take out that monster. Haha.
Yeah.
This one just didn't really do it. And again, the artwork I don't dislike as much as you guys do.
I'm very surprised.
I don't like the composition of
That's
this game.
good.
Okay?
There it is. Okay.
I think it's a really bad composition. I think the artwork might be better if the composition around it wasn't slapdash. It's not quite chibi. It's not quite, it's
Precious moments.
It goes for a couple of things. Definitely not. It goes for a couple of things and doesn't quite nail that.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it. That cover, though, I'm sorry. That composition is horrendous.
Yes.
That is terrible. I can't see anything. The big
What is
blob
it?
guy is destroying your cover.
Also,
I
is
can't
that-
read it.
Is that the Noid up there at the top? Remember from Domino's Pizza, Avoid the Noid? That looks like him.
I don't know who that is, Mike. What? Domino's
You don't
Pizza had a
remember?
monster?
You don't remember Avoid the Noid?
I do remember that. I don't think that's the Noid.
I think it might be the Noid, Tom.
What's next? A 7-Up dot?
Could be.
All right.
know.
All right, let's
don't
get
know.
right.
It's from the 90s, I think.
I wasn't alive yet.
I don't
All right,
think that's true.
Cubed, next level dominoes. Now talk about something that looks like super classy.
This game is
So classy.
making almost $500,000 too.
Just the rendering, I think, is what they're selling this thing on, the fact that the renderings they have are gorgeous.
They are
Yes.
gorgeous.
You
They
know,
are
the video is just like,
gorgeous.
wow, classy.
And I'll be
Really
honest with
cool.
you, the way they described the pieces made me want to pick them up, because they called it kind of like a rubbery.
It's a rubber,
like a
yeah.
hard rubber, and for some reason that's a very pleasant feel.
I can feel that in my
you know
hand.
What I mean?
Yes.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to mess with these. Is there a
Yes.
game there? Probably as much as any other of these types of
I think so.
abstract type
I
games.
think it's
a riff on dominoes.
Dominoes with the height variant, you know, 'cause
Yeah.
you're also matching heights and that kind of stuff. This is a game that I think it's so pretty and so tactile that you could have
Yeah.
it out on your coffee table.
Right.
You know, and it's just going to get that attention. I think this one, I'm not an abstract person, but I think this one looks visually cool, but also it's going to be comfortable enough with dominoes, but a little bit something different. I think this is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be a decorative piece for me.
Yes.
That's first and foremost why I would back something like this.
Yeah.
Because you get this thing and set it out somewhere. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Yeah.
You also need to have an aesthetic to your decoration that
sure.
matches this. You know.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, they look cool. I'm not convinced about the gameplay.
Right.
This whole dominoes thing, and maybe I'm a purist, but I'm like, what?
You like dominoes more than any of us.
I don't get that
Yeah.
whole like matching sides doesn't make everything a domino.
Right, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
You're
guess,
matching
yeah.
colors. You're matching heights. So there's a couple of different things.
Do you think this one went mainstream a few places, maybe?
Maybe.
Like showed up? I mean,
It does seem like it's getting a lot of
5,000 backers is a
yeah.
lot. I wonder, well, what else? What else? There was this Friendly Rabbit. This is their 8th thing.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe they have already
Ooh,
what?
Wow. Okay.
Talk about
I'm
jump.
out. I'm out.
What happened
Wow, something good.
under new
Wow.
management?
Wow! No kidding!
What?
Terrible.
All the other ones are incredibly different. They look like they belong with that
Yeah.
dead
Yeah.
game.
If
Right.
that.
And suddenly, bam, we got the classiest looking thing this whole week.
Man.
Okay.
It's like they went
Somebody
from,
bought you out? What
They went from
happened?
Spencer's Gifts to Macy's here. Wow. I also love the magnetic boxes that you can put one on either side. But I don't know. It's
Yeah.
so stupid. But it's like
What?
this whole thing is like a graphic design. It looked like it was
You like a toy?
done by a graphic designer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Alhambra The Red Palace.
Z.
Now-
Garcia. Here you go.
Yeah, this looks really cool to me. I don't think it's particularly different from Alhambra that I would warrant jumping on this if you have a lot of Alhambra. But it looks interesting, and I like some of the changes that they're implementing here.
They basically made it Cascadia meets Alhambra, right?
So the idea is a bit, yeah.
And I kind of
there
like
is-
that.
There's a couple of differences. If you know Alhambra, you'll be able to spot the differences. If you don't, Alhambra's a really basic game of collecting tiles that you buy with money and then build up a grid in front of you of those things. I like that now the tile and the cost on that tile gets a randomized building on
Right.
top of it, where before that building was printed on there with an associated cost. And there, of course, was a range of those. That looks good. It also has a really neat visual appeal of having that little tile with a hole.
Right.
And when you flip a new one, you're like, oh, it's a little green whatever. Boop. Cute. It's got the little wooden building in the center of it. Besides that, there's also little workers that
guards.
stand on your walls.
Yeah.
They're little guards. You can spend them for stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's a bit of a sidestep from
Yeah.
Alhambra, but it looks neat. I'm a fan of this. It's one of my favorite games, so I should probably mention that, the
Right.
original. So absolutely. I don't know, again, if this is different enough to warrant if you're invested. But if not,
Right.
this might be a good jumping on point.
And there's at least, it doesn't feel as, and this is just me speaking for myself, my opinions are not those of the Dice Tower. This feels less cynical than some of the recent Queen Kickstarters, because it is, hey, what, 20th anniversary, that's a good reason to come out. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not like,
Yeah, but let me ask this: is this game going to go to retail? Because if it is, I'll wait.
That's a good question. I don't. That's the other thing with Queen.
Yeah,
You just
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
right?
I
You
don't
never
know.
Is it going to show up on Amazon in 2 weeks for $9? You don't know, right?
And I think that's reflected in the backing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because people
Right.
have seen Queen games go for sale
Because they're pre-orders usually.
when
right?
they're non felled.
when they're not the
when they're
the
non
$300
games.
felled games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say, talk a lot of smack about Queen, and I think a lot of it is deserved, but I still think they have some of the best rule books in the business. So
They do. And some of their games are
Yeah.
just really good stuff. Alhambra is, I think, one of their best games ever. Mm-hmm. This is a neat, celebratory sort of version of that.
Right.
I'm into this.
All right. Tesseract, a cooperative dice manipulation game. So this is from Smirkin' Dagger or Smirkin' Laughter. I have no idea anymore.
They're both on the cover now. Both logos.
Oh, they are both of them on this cover? You're right, they are. Okay.
It's like, okay, what happened?
So he told me about this in the past, and I'm intrigued. If you make me a little grid of dice, I don't know why. That just looks fun, right?
it
Cool
looks
about
cool.
that.
It's a little mini Lazy Susan. This is a game that looks like it's 100% a gimmick, but it's 100% a gimmick I want to mess with. Like I'm really actually pretty. I think those are great custom dice, right? You can read it. They you know what the pips are, and you can tell these are just standard D6s that look nice. They've now, I don't know if you saw this, Tom. I guess the prototype they had that they were showing around was metal dice.
Oh, those metal dice you made for the Dice Tower?
yes.
Yeah.
It's the exact same ones.
Right, and so all these people are like, "Are you going to have metal dice?" He's like,
Oh,
"No, they're
metal
too
dice.
expensive." I'm sorry, they're too expensive. Well, no, now they found a way. If you want to buy the metal dice for this, you can.
All right,
a lot,
how
but-
much is it?
You'll have to check. I
I
don't
think it's
remember.
120.
Wow.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's like, anyway, thanks for the super chat, Nick.
Yeah.
Nick, can't even talk.
Nick, dots. Okay, you know what? For all metal dice,
Not a bad. They're
It's
making
not-
a
and
point
he
of
goes
saying,
into it and he
yeah.
says, like, I looked around. I said I wasn't going to because no one would. And I looked around. I found it for this price. If you'll pay this price, I'll offer them.
And it's gonna
enough
be-
people said yes.
Yeah,
that
and
he
it's
offered.
cheaper than a lot of metal dice are elsewhere.
it's a really funny quote. Like one guy said, one of the most cooperative co-op games I've ever played. Okay, what does that mean?
You very much cooperate.
But I think there's a lot of discussion. There's a lot of interaction with the
Yeah.
cooperation. There's not really
I don't hate how
alpha
the
player
non-metal
because you're
ones
like
look,
sharing.
though.
No, I think it all looks good. I'm
Sorry, Camilla.
No, you're good. No, go ahead. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got caught up in looking at these platform.
The other thing I was going to mention is that Smirkin' Dagger or Smirkin' Laughter or whatever you want to call them, they've been a company that, through no fault of their own, just my taste as a gamer, I've been almost never interested in what they do. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is their thing. It's definitely not my thing. Stab your friends. I just don't tend to like those games. But in the last year or so, they've started to kind of break out of that a little bit. Because like when they did, Night Cage, right? That wasn't a typical.
Bears?
Yeah, I think that's them. That wasn't a typical type of a game for them. This doesn't seem like one of their typical type games. And I'm kind of more interested in stuff they're doing here lately. So we'll see.
yeah.
I do wish those were, and this is something I could do on my own, obviously, but washed or something.
Or why?
think
I
the
was just
metal-
gonna say I might
Yeah.
get the plastic ones. Okay, let's take a look here.
Yeah, that'd be a quick, or probably ink them, not wash them.
That's the plastic. Very
Yeah, those
easy
are
to
easy
see.
to read.
So
They look
and
good.
they do say that they went with a different color because orange, I think, is not a color in metal dice, so they go to red.
To red, yeah.
And so there is that.
These are a little harder to read. The gold ones are. It's the red ones in
Yeah.
particular.
Right.
And the purple too, I think.
Yeah, those are rendered, but
I
still.
would definitely not bother with the metal
Yeah.
dice thing. That thing is gonna, one's gonna fall off of that thing and put a
Yeah.
dent in the table.
Right.
I'm
Okay,
just
but
not
that-
interested. I like the idea. I like the dice. I like how gimmicky this looks and interesting. Mm-hmm. It's a good marriage of those two things. The story is bizarre. This idea of this Tesseract, the size of a Jeep, showed up in the sky. Now it's the size of a bread box. It continued
Pretty
to-
sure the mechanics came first in this one.
Yeah. It's
very
like, okay,
much
sure,
so.
whatever you
Very
say.
much so.
Yes, how do you play this thing? But yeah, it's a funky thing where this cube was slowly decaying and you're manipulating dice off of it. That's cool.
And I think it's a really cool idea with, or really neat to see, I should say, just such a simple, what seems like a simple rule set for cooperative, but it's also going to have that high interaction still as
It's
you're
the
trying
most
to.
co-op game.
If
So it's
ever
most
made.
co-op, right? But I mean, with the dice manipulations, pipping up, pipping down,
Yeah.
switching, that kind of stuff. So it's that group think puzzle
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
a simple rule set, I found. From the page, I feel like I have,
Yeah.
Yeah.
70% I understand how to play.
Right.
And I think that was really cool.
To me, it kind of looks like Fuse without the time pressure.
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're trying to
Like
kind of
rolling
create
and getting
runs.
things.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in this one.
I am as well.
Looks good.
Where's the Marvel license to slap on that? That's the only thing that's missing. The
Come on.
Tesseract.
Carrier Battle Philippine Sea, just real briefly taking a look at this map. That is
Whoa!
Yes.
You know what, though? I always make fun of these maps, like, oh, it's the ocean. But what do you do?
Right, yeah, no, I mean,
There's nothing you can-
there's not a
you know,
whole
you're not
lot.
going to be able to...
Unless we're going to get
Draw a
Vincent
sea
Trade in
monster
there to
in
do
there.
it, you know?
Get something in there. Where's my?
Yeah, this is, Compass Games, they've got their niche. We've covered probably Compass Games more than maybe any other publisher on this show.
Well, this is their...
because they're on here so
53rd.
frequently.
That's what I'm saying,
yeah.
yeah.
All right, no worries. Just want to show you
These
all.
have to be made, right? Am I right in assuming that?
Probably, right?
But this game is like, what's their delivery? I'm curious. Like, if I backed this, when would I be expected to get it? Tomorrow?
February.
Yeah, so they're
February.
produced.
February. Okay, so that's why they can run them so
Yes.
frequently,
Right.
because I'm assuming
Yeah.
they're done, if not done, nearly done.
All right. Black Mold. An immersive co-op.
video is
so it's
nuts.
not. Survival horror
video.
escape. But wait. Where turns last as long as you can hold your breath.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Okay, so. No, I don't want to see you die here on camera, Mike.
All right, I'm
That was a short turn. Okay, you caught the black mold.
Got nothing.
I played
Yeah,
a few
you're-
games where holding your breath was like a funny thing on like one turn. Like for this turn, hold your breath, and it was like a laughter. If I had to do that the whole game, I'm out. I don't like holding my breath. I hate it.
Right.
I know there's a little card game. I was telling you about this. I think it's from Zoc or somebody, where the main mechanism is holding your breath, and then you do whatever with cards. It's a gimmick, you know.
But it's a gimmick, and it is, I think, kind of the hook to this game. But then, I mean, I'm going to steal your comment here, but then they give you a way out of it. It's like, oh, hey, here's our hook. But if you don't like it, here's a sand timer
Right.
instead.
This is the thing that makes it stand apart. Also, you can ignore it.
Right, yeah.
This is a freaky looking game. That's
hate
the
everything
main
about this
thing
game.
about it. I saw the video. I was sort of captivated, sort of repulsed. I wasn't sure what was going on. I don't like the holding my breath thing, definitely. It's a gimmick, but and you know immediately if that sounds interesting to you or not. You don't need us to tell you that. The gameplay, I don't know. That's ignoring ignoring the holding your breath thing.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd like this game. I don't know if the weird collection of things it's bringing to the table is something I'm into. I like the look, kinda.
I hate the look.
It looks like they're kind of going for that cave evil type of a
Yes,
thing.
right, 100%, and that's okay. I don't, I'll try it. It just seems like a weird thing. The soundtrack. You can get the soundtrack on cassette only. What's going on?
Yeah.
Who did that? I'm very confounded
It
by
should
this.
also come with an iron-on patch so you can, iron
I forgot about all
Crazy
those
shirt?
things. All right. Cruel Necessity Deluxe Edition. Another war game, but this one's solitaire, so Mike
Yeah.
will be playing as on one of his Wednesdays.
I don't think this is going to be making the Delicio factor, but
I love the name. That's a good name for a war game.
That's a really
and that's a good
one.
cover.
this is a
Yeah.
pre-existing game, I believe. I think this is like a more deluxe edition of it. I think Cruel Necessity is a game that has already a bit of a background and a history, if I remember
it's-
right.
I saw that the designer was a professor. He's been a professor for quite a long time, and yeah, I believe that's right, Mike. This is sort of a reissuing of
Yeah.
something that's got some history to it already.
Right.
I would play this before I played the other one.
Very much.
Yes. Dibs.
Dibs. Okay, it's yours. All right. Spielbox 2023. So I don't know how often they kickstart, but this is originally was in German only magazine. It's one of the last few in print magazines. It's them and Casual Insider, I think. Oh, and Senate. Most people, I bought many copies of Spielbox in my life, and every single time I bought them, it was because there was a promo, included inside the magazine.
They have good
Yeah.
promos, yeah. They often have very good
do have
promos.
that.
And speaking of that, there's
They show
promos.
them here, yeah.
Hey, we have one of these in our Kickstarter. I remember packing it. Wait, what's this game?
That's Wayfarers.
El Dorado.
El Dorado. Those are some good promos right
Yeah,
there,
those
actually.
are gorgeous. That makes me want to get that edition.
Yeah,
I still wanna
I've
get that
already
edition.
wanted that edition, yeah.
Flamecraft.
The pictures in these are beautiful. I like them. The articles are, again, it might be translated and stuff. I've always thought the articles were fine.
Yeah, they're
I
fine.
usually look through them because they're like, wow, these are really good pictures of games. Yeah, it's a nice magazine. They had a booth at
At
Essen? I should have stopped by and got. They usually give out like a free copy of like their latest magazine.
Don't they also usually have a booth at Gen Con? I think they do.
Spielbox?
I thought they had usually
Spielbox,
a booth at Gen Con, and they'll hand you out a thing with some promos in it. It's a small little booth.
I don't remember.
I think they are
yeah.
towards the back. But yeah,
look
look at this.
This is name. This is some name dropping.
Right.
Oh, for
I mean,
sure, yeah.
Yeah, you got the who's who of
Rainer Knizia,
especially-
Michael Menzel, Stefan Feld, Franz Wohinkel, Klaus-Jürgen Reid, and Klaus Teuber. That's like the.
That's like the German
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. Thank
But
you.
we forgot Wolfgang Kramer. No, we did
no,
not.
we didn't. Neither
And
did
Alan Moon.
Yeah.
And Richard Brees.
That's a
and
little out.
Uwe Rosenberg. Martin Wallace.
Okay, not all German.
And Ziegler. Oh, no. And Ben from USA.
USA.
This is a
I
great.
love it. Now we're getting to
That's
the
fantastic.
subscribers. Faceless
Yeah.
subscribers.
Thank you, random citizen.
Yep.
It says Ronnie. Oh, he's from. It's not from Canada.
No.
They all have almost the same hair. No, there's some different hair. I
Looks like
guess.
we will.
Okay.
That one has glasses.
That would be funny if it was like Rodney from Canada. We'd be like,
Oh.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, if you want a magazine, if you're still interested in that style of, consumption.
They also have a digital version of it, which
Yeah.
I thought was cool. They're
That
offering
too.
either one.
Yeah.
They've been around
know?
forever.
I think they're offering the digital, the print, or print with promo. So, so it's a little bit of customization with it.
okay, metal coins. I will say, I think that this is called Wave Force. I'm not trying to be a punny, but there was a wave of metal coin Kickstarters for a while.
There was, yeah.
We were seeing like one or two every week. Now
Yeah.
it's definitely calmed down.
It has slowed down a bit. Yeah.
Mostly because most games come with them in it now.
That's very true. This is Giochi, an Italian publisher. I didn't know that they did this type of stuff too, but I guess they do.
Are they the
But
ones that make the little boxes too, though, Tom? Or is that somebody else?
Yeah, they make those little boxes.
Yeah, right?
which boxes are you talking about?
The ones with the X's on them, the little component
that
boxes
is
with
them.
the X.
You're
That's
right.
them, right?
That is them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
they do componentry, yeah, for games.
I wonder how hard it is to make coins that are.
Irregular
Misshapen?
shapes.
Because I like those a lot. I mean, they said they took these ideas
Right.
from these coins,
Right,
but
right.
Yeah.
man, if you made like little coins like that, I don't
That'd be
know.
cool.
I
I like
really
that.
like that.
I've played some games that have irregular shaped metal coins.
That must be pretty tricky, I
Yeah.
guess. Otherwise,
Wonder.
more of these Kickstarters would offer them because it feels historic
Very
if it's
unique,
irregular.
right. They stick out.
Well, this one is. Look at this Eager Silk coin.
Yeah.
I think this is hard because metal coins are one of my favorite upgrades, but it's something I want to touch and pick out.
Yeah.
That being said, there's one I'm considering backing this specifically for their Victorian era ones.
For
Obsession, because I've had a hard time finding coins to match that one.
Interesting.
right there.
That one.
But I
was-
want to
Oh,
touch
that's
them.
true. Those do look good.
But I want to touch them. I want to hold
those
them.
are
I want
not it.
to. That's what
Yeah, it
they're
is.
based on, right? That's.
They go up. That's what they
That's
look
the
like.
set,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh,
Is that right? Or is
yeah,
that-
I don't like
You're
those
looking
as
at
much.
real coins.
These
for
are too
history.
shiny.
They're
Maybe you need
all
to.
too shiny.
you need
That's
to
my
put-
problem with this whole page. To show you the image of the three things it's based on, they look great because they're historical coins.
Sure.
And then their picture is like, here's some pristine, incredibly mirror shine. I'm like, they
But
look
again,
too good.
We'll dig a hole in the
I was gonna say,
backyard,
just throw them in the dirt for a while.
throw them in there, cover it up, and come back in a year.
But I mean, if I
That's
knew
a
I
long
liked.
time. That delivery.
Also, they will appreciate in value quite a bit.
But if I knew I liked the coin, I would take the time to go, because I haven't been able to find coins that I like for certain games. Take and do a quick oil wash or an ink wash or something like that on them to give them that antiqued look.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's really
Is
quick.
that
You
all it
just-
takes is a wash?
Yeah, you just put it on your rag,
I
you
was
just go
gonna
through
run
and
around
wipe
with
your
the car.
Yeah, you just go through and wipe the coins, and I mean you just do either a wash or a
Okay.
oil wash on it, really. And so I think I would be willing to do that. If I could touch these, I want to touch metal coins, one of my favorites, but it's so like personal, I want.
There is
Yeah.
that silly little thing too of the fact that you're oftentimes paying more for fake metal coins than
These
real,
are not as
real
expensive.
coins.
36 coins for $17
That's not
is
bad.
almost half price of what they
not
normally
bad.
are. They're usually $1 a coin.
They're not bad. Yeah, these are not too much. But I did not love any of these. I kept looking through them, trying to see if there were any that would jump out at me. They all looked, I don't know. Again, it's a stupid thing to say because I want it to be new, clearly, but they look too new.
Yeah.
They don't have any personality, these coins, to me.
And you can get new metal coins that look antiqued already.
Yeah,
It
right.
happens all the time.
Right.
So these
Sorry,
ain't
guy. Okay, next. Hike It, the backpacking board game. So this puts you in the Great Smoky Mountain with nothing but your backpack and your wits, which sounds to me like the beginning of a horror movie.
You're naked.
Yeah.
Okay? So you're basically naked and hungry, naked and afraid.
This is one that
That's a show, right?
it is, yeah.
With a backpack and your wits.
Yeah.
I hope this is as good as I think it looks, because I think this looks terrific.
I am
love the theme.
so excited
Yeah.
about this game.
Well, you're the only person here who hikes,
Go ahead.
right?
Well, go ahead. Why are you excited?
No,
I mean,
well,
I didn't mean
I'm
to take
excited
it
for a
from
couple
you.
of reasons.
Go ahead.
Number one is that I've spent a fair amount of time in the Smoky Mountains. I've had family that has lived there, and so I've done quite a bit of hiking through those mountains.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge hiker. I don't go like on days-long backpack hikes,
Yeah.
but I've hiked in the Smoky Mountains. I think that it looks like, I don't know, it looks pretty robust. And so I'm hoping it's good. I think everything about it looks. I love the look of those cards. I love the.
I hate
do.
the photography.
No, I love the look of those
Oh,
cards.
no, it's-
I
yeah,
love the
I
look of the
like it.
board. I like how it's a topographic thing. But Camilla, you're super excited. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much a lot of what you just said. I mean, I've spent a lot of times in the Smokies. I mean, I'm from Knoxville, so
Yeah.
a lot of time in the Smokies, I'm looking at the map and it being a topographical map of the Smokies, and I'm like, Mount LeConte, been there. Gregory Bald, been there. Like all
Gregory
these, I can
Bald,
just
yeah.
like check off all these, and I'm like, I love it, and I love the idea. You can tell that the designer here, what?
I'm kidding. It's like
He's
Gregory
being a
Bald.
moron.
giving you
Oh,
grief.
okay, all right.
He's
Well,
acting
You
like
name
he
dropping
knows.
the Smokies, okay?
I will
Go
name
ahead.
drop. I can't
Keep
name
doing
drop
what you-
designers
Seems
over
like
here, but
Homestead, I've been there.
I've been there.
Florida City, I've been there. Homestead, I've been there.
But I love the, I'm huge into thematic integration here, and you can tell the designer here knows hiking and knows, having to plan not only your trek, but what are you taking based on the topography and that kind of stuff. And then the one thing that kind of has me like, is it does you can become the black bear at one point, so it's a
Yeah.
little bit of that, take that,
Wait, you can become the
maybe.
bear?
If
You
you
can become
finish
the bear.
first, if you get back,
I'm back in the game.
if you get back, basically you can control the bear that's basically trying to
Like
get the
terrorizing
other
other
people.
people.
That sounds amazing.
I don't hate that at all.
I like that.
So that's one of those, like, if I'm the first done, I love that mechanism.
Right.
If I'm not, I don't know.
You just got to be faster than the slowest person. That's all.
I'm assuming it's just, at that point the game should be almost
It
over,
should,
I'm guessing. Yeah, that's
But
fine.
Gosh, I like the look of it. It just has that rustic look. They did their homework. You can tell it has the passion in it, but it doesn't smell of a passion project.
Yeah.
It looks like a good game. So I'm really excited
It's
about
both,
this
right?
one.
It seems like a passion
Yes.
project that someone didn't just throw passion at it, but
Right.
skill also.
Yes, yes, I really like it. I'm
All right, cool.
very
Yeah.
excited.
You should hike it. I mean, back it.
Cosmoctopus.
There's so many good games
That's
this
what I'm so
week.
excited about. Oh.
What is going on with you all? Okay, this is a new company.
Yeah, this is Henry Audubon who designed Parks.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, the reason why this game has got me intrigued is a couple of things. One is that I like Parks quite a bit, and I like the look of, especially those cards. Those cards are, I love that. It reminds me of kind of like the, what's that one that
The Monsters one.
Yes,
It looks like the
Campy
Monsters
Creatures.
one.
It looks
Campy
like Campy
Creatures
Creatures.
Oh,
from
I was thinking
from
like
Key
4 or
Master.
5.
The other thing
Kind
is
of,
some
yeah.
people that whose opinions in games I tend to agree with have played early versions of this, and they're like, "Mike, you're gonna love this game."
Yeah.
And so I've got my eyes open.
When you say you got your eyes open, did you click the back
I
button?
have not backed it, but
His wallet is open though.
I am very intrigued by it. It's not what I'm currently backing, but I'm intrigued.
What about you? What do you got?
I'm really excited about this one. I thought this one looked good. Just the more, same thing. Some people's opinions that I respect. Hey, check out this game. Sent it to me, and I looked, and the more I looked at it, the more excited I got. I think the first glance I saw it, and I was like, oh, maybe it's some sort of party game. I really enjoy Parks. This looks like it's going to be more strategic than that. But kind of have that racing element as well with some engine building. I love engine building, so I think this is going to be potentially be a really good mix of those mechanisms I like from a designer that I have liked in the past, and people that have played it have good things to say about it, that I respect. And I
Price is right.
also love octopuses and, and kraken. They're like one of my favorites.
Cosmoctopus plushie, yeah.
So right there, I didn't see that. My dog would look adorable with that.
Did those cards
Dog would destroy
appeal
them in 2
to
minutes.
you, Z? Because when I saw those cards, I'm like, those look like cards that Z might be into.
Which ones?
The
Just
cards in the
look of
game,
the
yeah, the
cards,
look of them, yeah.
I think this looks interesting. I'm not as excited as you two, I think.
That would be hard to do.
This has been a big week.
Harry Audubon, I feel like he's done. He repeats himself a decent amount. I think he's a very good designer. Because Moptopus here, or whatever it is very similar to Space Park, which was very similar to the wooden one, the in the forest one, whatever
Parks?
that's called. No.
No.
From another company, 25th Century, I think, put it out.
Oh.
There's another game he did, which is again very similar. This idea of shared pawns is his go-to thing.
It is a big thing,
except in parks.
Right.
But yeah, in Space Park, it's 3 rockets, and you move one on your turn and take an action.
Yeah.
Here, it's 1 space octopus.
This looks a little more
It looks
complex.
really similar to me to Space Park.
Because Space Park is like a filler, straight up a filler. This
I
looks a
think you
little
guys are
more.
thinking this is heavier than it is.
Oh, maybe so.
I don't think it's heavier. I think maybe it's more puzzlier.
Really?
Yeah,
It looks
like
really simple to me.
Puzzly
Okay.
in the way you're putting your engine. But again, I
I
haven't played the others.
I
to
didn't pick up
bring-
on any of that like deep engine. It is 60 to 90 minutes, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is more to it. It looked pretty straightforward, and I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping there is more meat there, because I would love to play a game from him that is a little deeper.
Yeah, I'd like
I
to
don't care if
see.
he reuses some of his go-to mechanisms, but expands upon them. That's
Yeah.
what I'm missing a little bit at this point. I like the theme. It's kind of kooky. It's kind of bizarre, but I don't mind that. I like the graphic design. In fact, it kind of looks like a Keymaster
It does look
game.
a little bit like a Keymaster game.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm just not as fired up because I feel like maybe I've played something that is already kind of like this from
I
this
hear you.
design.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's yeah. I think.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. And again, it's mostly because of like some pre-buzz, and that can be very dangerous,
it
right?
can, yeah.
I've been burned by that before, but my eyes are open. I'm intrigued.
All right, Oathsworn into the Deepwood 2nd Edition. Now, I would be more excited about this had I not already had Oathsworn.
Yeah.
This adds some content, not a ton. This is mostly existing so you can get Oathsworn again.
Yes.
Straight up.
Right, it's a reprint
I'm
or
all
a
in.
second
How
printing.
much, Tom?
Yeah.
If I want to get it all, how much?
I did want these metal
like
coin
those
dice.
though.
I did not see these. When did they add these? It was a 2 million unlock?
They're metal dice, though.
I don't care.
You like the metal dice, Tom? They're so heavy.
Not really.
They're so garish.
Actually, the game doesn't even have you. You're supposed to use cards instead of dice, but we like using the dice
I like
better.
the dice, yeah.
How much for all in, Tom? I'm curious. If I wanted to back it all and I have none of it now.
Well, actually, this
what
this
all the-
125 is enough.
No, I
Yes.
disagree.
No.
Okay. This is Kickstarter, good
and
sir.
I would say I did not. I'm huge into miniatures and theme and that kind of stuff. I regret the terrain. It's so in the way.
Do you have this?
You know, I did.
You did
I
have
ended up,
it?
yeah.
But you don't
I
even
never played
need
this.
these models. I mean, this comes with models for the heroes.
Okay.
I wonder, do you know if they're still doing push?
They are.
Oh, well,
The
that's
hips.
dumb.
Yeah, the hips are still in
I
there.
glued mine together, or I had one glue them together. But the standees for the monsters, if you don't buy the standees for the monsters, you need 2 more boxes of monsters.
Right.
I'm okay with the standees.
Yeah. As well as you only use the monsters like one time. Like I like the miniatures for the
Well,
heroes that you made. Oh,
Probably.
probably
you
only
them
use it one time. So, okay, but let's say it's twice still, though, you know, or 3. I don't actually know, so I'm not spoiling anything because I'm
7.
ignorant here. But I don't know that it warrants a big miniature that you're going to want to paint. And
That being said,
some
it's
of us would want to.
125. It's only 100 more to get everything else. You know, it's not.
Oh, it's nothing. That's it. That's all in. 225. Here we're talking. Okay, 375. Okay, well I hear 400. Anybody say 400? 450. Keep
Oh, I'm
going,
sorry. No,
Tom.
this is the 275.
I want.
Although I will
it
say
all.
that this 275 looks like there's more content than say
Henry
HeroScape.
commented.
But anyway,
I don't know why this one has not. It just. I'm like, what is
good.
making this stand out? Why is this that much better than?
it is a really great game, man.
I guess I need to try
And it
it.
has
Have
2
you played
strong
this?
halves.
No, not at
Yes.
all.
I think that's the key right there. It's the 2 really strong, really interesting halves. So you get the Gloomhaven fighting and strategy and going into battle, but you also get like the storytelling and interesting decisions as
You
you're
like the one
exploring the
half.
worlds, that kind
I
of
like
stuff.
Story half.
I felt like immediately connected to the one half. The other half, I would have to go back to. I should put.
No,
it
I'm
that
not. Okay,
way. You know what I mean? It's not that I disliked one half and liked the other. The story and the writing was superb.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
I'm the
really
one that hasn't
good.
played this,
Immediately, I was
apparently.
connected to that. The other half was fight a big monster, and there's a lot of rules. And when I was playing, it was being run by someone. So it's like, okay, what do I do? Attack him? Yeah. Bah! Ah! So I need to go back to that part. The other part, I don't need any convincing on. I'm sold.
It's a boss battler. And each character of the 20, I think there's 20 characters, plays very differently, and it's unique. You play these cards, and they kind of rotate around, so a card can be played that's powerful, but it takes longer to get back in your hand, but you can play other cards to push them.
Okay.
Cards can be played as defense, too, but also then it's a while before they come back in their hands. But the coolest thing is, when you attack creatures, you can pick how many dice you roll. But if you roll 2 miss results, the whole thing misses.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Which is such a...
It's a neat idea.
It's a really cool idea.
But I was saying, but then like again with the thematics and the story, and so you said the story and the exploration was your favorite part, and I love the way that continues through it. Like the decisions you make does change the story, and then after we went and we did the boss battler, those decisions, what happened in the boss battler as well as the beginning story or village phase, those melded together to kind of create this next scenario that happened. So you really see, I mean, to me, this is like all my favorite parts of Sleeping Gods, Gloomhaven, KDM.
You guys are selling
it's
this.
like
All right, I need to try it.
really
I'm the only one
good.
that hasn't tried this, and you're making it sound like it's the best game that I've never played.
It's
This
the
is
best
going
game
to
you've never
replace
played.
your #1 game of all time. When you not play it, look upon it.
That's correct. The
Okay.
Dwellings of Eldervale is trash at this
Trash.
point.
At this
From what I
point.
understand,
At
you rated a
this point.
6 out of 10, and that's a pity
That's being
rating.
generous.
Yeah, there's just so much in this game, and it's a grimdark game. But it's a grimdark game like where you'll see. I'm trying to be oblique here, but let's say, you know, you're hiding in bushes and there's a monster coming, and there's like someone's wounded laying on the ground, and it's
Right,
like, do we shoot them to silence them?
Right.
And if we don't, the monster's going to come and get us.
Okay.
There's those kind of
So far, I'm
decisions in the
liking
game,
everything about this.
and they have repercussions,
Gotcha.
as we found out.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Sometimes your decisions come back, and also, next time, lie.
No, I really
That's-
think
that's
lying
grit.
would have hit it. I think we made the right choice.
Well, I actually went back and looked. We should have lied.
What?
We should have lied.
Hey, you're not supposed to
Hey,
go back and look.
Spoilers.
Cheaty McCheaterson.
The Queen's Dilemma. All right, so another big giant game.
$500,000.
This is following up on the King's Dilemma. So what? And I'm going by a lot of the King's Dilemma. And this, by the way, I'm a little confused on these giant box things here. But the King's Dilemma was a game in which I don't think anyone here played it.
No.
So what happens is you are playing in this little political game. You're a political group. You have these certain agendas that you're trying to get done. And what will happen is some issue comes up before the kingdom. So you open this sealed envelope of cards, and it'll be like, hey, there's this kingdom to the south of us. They want to come and trade with us. This will really increase our economy. They also have slaves. What do we do? Should we say, hey, you shouldn't have slaves, or should we just be like, we don't see that, so we get the economy? And then everyone is kind of bidding on which thing to do or not, which you're not doing. You can have great moral arguments, but you want to do the thing that helps you out.
Right.
Okay.
And then depending on what you pick, you will then open a different envelope, which has a splitting aspect to the point where when I finished this, I would say 30% of the game was never even opened.
Oh wow.
Now, I went
okay.
back and opened it all and looked at it.
Of course you did.
Of
Of
course
course
you
you
did.
do. Like
You
to
are
read what
you.
if we lied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
That's your thing.
No, but so I can see some
Grimdark.
people having that, and you can't go back and play it. So Queen's Dilemma looks like a follow-up on that. The biggest problem with King's Dilemma was that the game itself was very, very okay.
Right.
The story was great.
Right.
They offered such interesting dilemmas, like,
You need a dedicated group too, right, to play through this. You
you
don't
don't want to jump around.
Yeah. Okay. And about how many sessions would you say it is? At least King's Dilemma was.
Was it like 20? It might have been 20.
Okay, so you need to. This is a.
But they
commitment.
weren't awfully long. They were like an hour.
Okay.
I mean, that's like Jaws the Lion.
Maybe like a Jaws of the
You
Lion
know,
type of
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
But see, I don't know how different this one is. This one has, mystery bags, for example. I think my lunch is in one of those.
Yeah.
They really look like they have scones in there.
do.
Yeah.
They do, yeah.
Wow.
The ideology board's different. The last board was one big board with different, like the wealth of the kingdom goes up or goes down.
Yeah, they said this
And
is new, the ideology
Okay.
thing.
So I'm curious how different it will be, but I'm definitely
There's a lot of stickers.
in, man, because I really like story in my I like good story in these games. I hate when the story's like blah 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 blah. This was interesting because I like the ethical things it brought up. And sometimes you sit there and you would play the game and then you sit there and argue, now what should we have actually done?
Sure.
Because sometimes it seems easy. But not every decision is easy. You know,
Yeah.
that little kid is evil. He's going to grow up to be evil, right? What do we do about that?
Right.
kill him now. Maybe that's not so hard of an ethical decision.
that's an easy one.
I'm trying to think of.
I don't like the way that kid looks.
Okay, I know a simple one that came up in the first one. Like, we got a bunch of metal.
Okay.
Do we turn it into weapons, or do we turn it into stuff that will help the kingdom grow? And they both affect it. One's good for defense and one's good for other.
And based
I
on
like that
what
stuff.
your character is.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
they
That's
do.
interesting.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
And then so it's a standalone sequel. You do not need to have the King's Dilemma to play this. I'm very much interested in it.
All right.
Did I see? I think they were asking in the comments. Did I see that this had a reset pack, like an add-on or something like
Yeah,
that?
you can.
reset?
There is
That's
a
what I
reset.
thought.
One of
I
the some
thought
of
I
the
did see
pledge
it.
levels have a reset pack.
Okay.
Yeah.
That being
So
said,
that's-
I don't think I would ever go back and play King's
Yeah,
Dilemma again.
sure.
But you could.
It was a great one-time experience.
But you could sell or gift it at that point. I think that's the purpose. Is it becomes not just a one-time experience.
Okay.
Got it.
Canvas, finishing touches, and I need to. Do you still have the expansion for this?
Nope. I brought it back today.
Because I need to play the expansion today.
I need to play
first
the
one.
expansion too. I haven't played the
Yeah, it's
expansion.
good.
$500,000. This game started as a relatively small, like the first Canvas campaign was not a big, huge
Right.
$1 million project. This game has exploded.
Yeah.
It has just exploded,
has.
and I like the game. I rated it quite high. I think I rated it an 8. I did not see this game becoming what it has become. It has really blown up.
It's bloated, is what you're saying. It's a
No,
bloated mess.
no, I don't know. I haven't even played
The first one, though,
expansion.
the first one's really streamlined,
streamlined.
and it walks that fine line between it is a good game,
Right.
and also you sit there and go, look at my painting I made.
Yeah, that's really more.
I
what
love
it-
that
yeah,
part.
Yeah.
And I think the second one just brings in more interesting choices to the game.
You can reverse the cards,
But
right?
because you have
Yeah.
two sides of the cards that you can look at,
Okay.
and so I think it brings in some more interesting without adding a bunch of complexity to it. And it seems like this right here is just kind of wrapping that all up together. Where you said you like the paintings, and this is going and trying to get that gallery exhibit, and it's about having the right specifications to have that gallery to get your portrait in the gallery. So that, or not portrait, your painting. I'm sorry. So that then for you earn points. And but I really thought that was kind of a king of the hill mechanism here, where it's like, yeah, you can get in the gallery, but then if somebody else meets those specifications, better, or fulfills that contract, whatever better, then you can they take over your spot. And so I really like that you're it's not just okay, cool, check, done. It's a constant as you go through the game. So anyway, yeah, I think this one looks really cool and a kind of finishing touch to the series.
It's 100% a gimmick game, but it's a good gimmick.
And if you
Yeah.
haven't caught it, you can hang all the board boxes on your wall just like
can.
they're showing you. And it wasn't until I saw this campaign that I realized the first 2 boxes went together.
I didn't realize that either. That's pretty
Oh,
cool.
really? Oh, it's really cool when you put them next to each other.
Yeah. Oh, do
You
you
can
like?
hang them like this with
You-
the separation.
there's
Do
literally
you
a
like that?
hole in
Do you
the
like those paintings that have the separations in them, like this is, or do you
I
like
would
them
have
together?
less of a separation than that. I think that one's a little bit too thick for I would want some separation, because otherwise you're going to be knocking them into each other all the time. But I wouldn't want that big of a gap, especially between the second and third. I feel like that one needs to be.
Now let me ask you this: do you think the whole
Disagree.
picture was drawn at once, or did they add to the original picture?
I think the second and third were probably drawn at the same time.
Ooh, I like that answer. That's great. Because that first one, I like all the covers, but the first one's still amazing. The
Yes.
first, that's a really good piece
And
of
I-
art that I would have bought.
And I feel like they probably didn't know what they were designing, like how good of a game they were designing, or maybe they did know, they just didn't know if it would catch on.
Well, I wouldn't
But-
put a lot of forward planning. Their company is named Road to Infamy, which is still based on a
Let
pretty.
me
Okay.
clarify, because there's already someone. It's not a gimmick game. It's a game with a good gimmick. Like, it's an actual
Yes,
game.
it
I do want to make that clear. Like
Yes,
I
but
said,
it's
I
still
gave it a very good review, but it is built around a gimmick, right? The hook to this game is not that river system, because there's like 7 or 8 other games that do the exact same thing. It's about creating that thing, and that is a gimmick, but it's also a good game.
We've actually done a top 10 list
Right.
of gimmicks that we liked in games.
Right.
Yeah, I'm also calling it a gimmick game, but I like the gimmick.
Because
Yeah.
at some point in the game, you might take a card because of the title it'll
Right.
make, or because this is going to be hilarious
Yeah,
to put
yeah.
blood on my flowers,
Sure,
or
yeah.
whatever it is, Like,
It's like you
Sounds
could,
funny,
it's
yeah.
like you
At
could
some point.
see me and my family playing this game. My girls are like, well, I know this is worth less points, but
I'm
you have to
taking
put
it.
these 2 things
right, I
together.
mean, I have to, right? Like,
Right.
so it's a gimmick. You get caught by it, and it's fun.
All right, Lords of Baseball.
Oh boy.
Okay, so baseball's my favorite sport. I really like
What
baseball.
about cigar boxes? What are your thoughts on cigar boxes?
Well,
Your
you know,
second favorite kind of box.
I don't. They make me think of a mafia game, actually, usually. I don't know. This one looks so boring.
It just does.
Really applaud what they're doing here, though. I love these sports games that are coming out that are more about the seasons of this and growing a team and managing teams. But this one has a lot going on with very little to show about how it goes on. And maybe it's 'cause I thought maybe it was like I didn't follow baseball and I couldn't follow, but I was like, this is just like.
I also hate that.
Also, if you're going to show something like this, don't make it a very obvious Photoshop.
Right.
I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I could do this, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. There's nothing about this game I'm interested in. I like baseball too,
I do
but
too, yeah.
this game does not look good. I don't know. I mean, it looks like we went from all the projects we've been looking at and suddenly fell into like a time warp.
Do you think
Game
part of
looks-
it's because it's a bad
It's on
Kickstarter
purpose,
page?
but it's also not.
I think so.
I think the page is bad.
The page is
every time
kinda
they show you the
basic.
game, they show you everything, and I like zoom in and show me some of that stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
Or show me again the
Show
mechanisms
off
of it.
what you went with. If you made a
Yeah.
bold choice, like you're saying, it's on purpose. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Right.
But then show me why you made that choice. Justify what you're doing. It's just, I don't know, it doesn't seem to really be blowing me away with why they made that choice, I guess, you know?
Yeah. I think maybe I did think that is an audience out there for us, somebody that was into this during, not the golden
20s.
years, obviously, right? I mean, obviously they're not now, but like really into baseball and the history of baseball. It seems like it's kind
Right.
of calling out to them.
Sure.
I don't see it. What else has this company done?
L4 Studios. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I don't
Cigars?
know. That'd be really, really funny.
Kapow. We played Kapow, Tom.
I very much remember this really bad cover, actually. This. Kapow was actually a
Yeah,
good
it
game,
wasn't
and
bad.
it was good enough. It got picked up by Renegade, was it?
Somebody picked it up. It may have been Indie Boards and Cards. I don't remember.
Well, WarQuest is one of the worst games I've ever played. That's not that funny.
I mean, I just wasn't expecting you. Oh, Warcrest. This game is one of the
I
worst
like
games that's
that
ever been
stuff,
made.
but WarQuest is.
I thought you were excited about
WarQuest is the equivalent of Waterworld. All right, you're like, look at this big amazing thing. Oh my, it's terrible in every way.
That's awesome.
Terrible in every way. Tom
I
Bass.
think I gave it a 2.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
that's a Glenn Rover
That's
game. You tend to like his
Oh,
stuff.
wait.
I
too.
do.
They
All
can't
right,
all
Mike's
be
about to
winners.
slobber all over the table.
I love Aqua Garden. This is an expansion to a game that is very hard to get a hold of unless you go unless you live in Asia, and where it's a little bit easier to get it there, or B, had backed it on the original.
Which you did,
Which
right?
I did, and it was a game that I backed really because of the theme, and I liked the look of it. I went into it pretty blind. That being said, this is a game that I have taught to so many people at our conventions, at our whatever, the cruise, the retreat, the conventions.
On the streets.
And it's not been everyone's favorite game by any means, but I've never had someone go, oh man, I just did not like that game. Most people
Right.
either really like it or like it. And they're like, oh, that was cool.
Right.
It's a neat game, and the expansion looks really good. The base game came with some little modular expansions that you could just basically add
Not
advanced.
some. It came with a lot.
It came with 3 modular expansions, right? And each of those expansions had multiple little fish.
4.
You
You forgot the polar bears.
Oh yeah, that's true. You can. That was a separate game that you can bring
No,
in.
it's a terrible game. That's really an expansion.
Right, exactly. Anyway,
Okay.
yes. So I'm happy for more Aqua Garden, but what I'm really more happy about is that I think that more people have heard about the game, had a hard time getting it,
Yeah.
and now you can get it again.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the most important thing. If you've never played the game, do I think you should drop $132? No, probably not.
Right.
You should try the game first if you can. It may be on TTS. I don't know if it is or not. Come to one of our events. I'll be happy to teach it to you. I've taught this dozens of times. So I'm very happy about it.
Did you see anything in here about it going to retail? Because I didn't.
I don't know that this is going to go to unless
Okay.
somebody comes and picks it up. Because Uchibakoya is a Japanese company that I think that they started as a component company.
It's hard
first.
Okay.
it's hard for a board game publisher to want to pick something up that's this successful, though.
Right.
If they've already sold 2,000 copies.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard.
And that's for the
Okay.
expansion.
Here's where I'm not as excited as you. I really like Aqua Garden. I think it's gorgeous. But I'm also really satisfied with it.
Yeah.
It has all these little modules. Every time you play with like 3 different
Yeah,
fish
you
or
can just
whatever.
throw in
There's
some
3
different fish, yeah.
and there's like 20 of them.
Wow. Okay.
And so I wasn't thinking I needed more. Also, it's a nice small game.
It is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the expansion looks great, and the fact that the octopus is holding that bottle is cute.
It is adding a new little mechanism, though. It's adding.
It is.
Basically, now you're also trying to clean up the beach and decorate those things and put them in
So
your.
there's some set
Yeah.
set collection, but it gets like.
There's
If you get
another
2
little-
of this, you get some points. You
Right.
get 3 of this, you get a point. So you're, I guess, kind of set collection or contract fulfillment, some sort of mesh of those 2.
There's another little board you can have, but Tom, your point is well said
Yeah.
that it was a small game. You were able to fit all those stuff barely into the base box, and now you're not going to be able to do that. You'd have to have
Oh,
another
don't worry.
box.
They'll be releasing a box bigger than this
I
table
doubt
eventually.
it. I don't
know.
think.
It's
I don't
such a-
think with this
I'm
company.
actually
I don't see
surprised
it.
that there's even an expansion. Like
Yeah.
it kind of seemed like you said, enough in a one. So
I would have almost liked if
surprised.
Beachcombing was a sequel game.
I see
That
what
would have
you
been my
mean.
preference,
Sure, I
right?
get you. I get
that
you.
would be interesting.
I do love
I
their
wonder if
pieces.
that box is big enough to hold it all. That'd be great.
Well, you said it was.
If they made it a bigger box, then I mean, I don't get that impression. I mean, I get they tend to this publisher, from what I've seen, they tend to not make their boxes any bigger than they need to be.
Right.
Which is also going to keep shipping down.
It is,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
seeing that it's coming from Japan, shipping is
That's-
probably not
right.
insignificant.
Man, this is such a cute game.
It really is
really
a good
is.
game. It's,
Yeah, I need to
It
try
really
this at
is.
some point, Mike. You've taught it to everybody but me.
I'd be happy to teach it to you. I don't know whether you'll like it or not, but I'll be happy to teach
He
it to you.
refused to teach it to
And
me.
then you can teach him
That
Oathsworn.
is patently untrue.
It is not. We were
I'll
on a
go
cruise,
grimdark on
and
you.
I was like, "Hey, do you want to come play board games?" And you were like, "Nah, we're relaxing over here somewhere else."
Well, look, that's a cruise, Tom. Like, I'm a very busy
So
man.
I
on the
figured it
cruise.
out on my own, Mike.
And so you had a feeling of accomplishment, right?
No, that's the way I like
sure
to
you-
run
I'm
games
sure
anyway.
you
Well,
wanted
you would have ripped the rule book from
That's
his
true.
hands
You're kidding
anyway.
me?
Quatro City, your interactive storytelling puzzle quest. Now, this one's doing very well.
Isn't this basically micro-macro puzzle?
Yeah, because there's those puzzles.
Yes.
There's those
Yeah.
jigsaw puzzles where
Right.
it's like murder mystery jigsaw puzzles. It's like that meets micro macro.
Basically, yeah.
Yep.
But with pieces that are cool shaped. This is a lot of puzzles are doing this nowadays. I get Facebook ads.
Yeah.
I think that's cool though. I like that.
Yeah.
If you're into puzzles and
When is this coming out? Because maybe I'll buy it for my wife's Christmas present in 2026.
Yeah, she likes puzzles, right?
She does, although they don't come with all these cool tools like
What's
this.
going on with
What
these
is
tools?
that?
What's with
I
the
don't
tools?
know.
Just to grab the pieces?
Maybe so, yeah. Maybe to pick them up.
Wow.
And
That's a little ridiculous.
My only concern about this one is I like how there's these different puzzle things, but I'm assuming you do it right away because saving a puzzle, like we have a separate table at our house where we bought this yellow felt thing.
Right.
puzzle saver.
It's a puzzle saver.
you
You're
roll
supposed
it
to roll up. Well, that works like nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, but it does allow you to pick up the whole puzzle without it falling.
Right.
And so we just move it to another flat table until
Yeah.
it's done.
Yeah.
But this seems like a lot of extra space.
It
I'm
does.
also worried a little bit because there's an app.
Right.
And again, I don't know. Are these people good at making puzzles and apps? That always concerns me. By the time this shows up, or a year after I get this thing, can I still do it? Or is the puzzle great, but the app is gone at that point?
Is it an app or a website? Maybe I misunderstood that.
I mean, just again, the technical aspect
It
of
wouldn't
it.
make a difference to you.
Yeah, they might not pay for the website to be up there. They might not
Yeah.
renew their website, you know?
It's also not particularly inexpensive.
No, it's not.
It's not.
For a puzzle, what was it? For only the first part, it's going to retail for $140. That's really expensive. I mean, they might be lying on it. I mean, doing that whole.
That just means it's
Yeah.
not going to retail.
Right, 'cause
I'm sorry.
who's
okay?
paying $140
No.
for a puzzle?
Well,
You're
especially-
saying that's your suggested price.
Right.
And
You're
the-
not selling it for that.
No.
And especially when this is already a field that there are options in. You know, the murder mystery ones, the Sherlock
Yeah.
ones, where
Yeah.
you do the puzzles and then solve whatever mystery.
I'm also trying to figure out how much. So this is like, I'm like, well, part 1 is 69. Part 2 is only twice that. But then, is it just adding more envelopes?
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't look like it adds that much more stuff.
I think each envelope is a quadrant. If I'm not mistaken, is a quadrant. Remember when you saw it before and it was the 4?
Yeah.
And so it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
If that's the case, I don't want to buy just 1/4 of that.
Right. So I mean, how much of the game do you want? I mean, because
Right.
is it going to be a one and done, and you're just going to kind of move on, or do you want to do a whole thing?
Is
I don't know.
1/4 a rectangle though? Like I know they're showing that there, but is all the pieces in that box and the envelopes are just different mysteries in it?
No, I think it's literally different quadrants, and then you can put them together to do a whole big scene if you have all 4. Again, I might be.
You're right. Okay, never mind. It says there's 631 pieces in part 1, and there's 1943 pieces in the full thing. I would buy this for me and my wife, but $150 is not a small amount of money.
It is not. It's a lot of dough.
Yeah.
Eh.
It also does not look that big on that table. I don't know what the dimensions they said were, but
Yeah, right there it doesn't look
If that's
big.
a fourth of it,
That's a
I'm assuming
fourth.
that's just one of the fourths.
Although
right?
I have never seen 3 people more excited about a puzzle in my life.
no.
They are.
That just
entranced.
reveals some lottery. The lottery numbers are on the back of the plate.
All right. Trench Club Legacy. Now, this is a...
I could have swore we covered something like this. Is this a redo? I remember the little thing where you put the little beads on.
I remember that too, but it was not a legacy game.
Is that what it is? This is a legacy version of a game
I
we've
don't
already
know,
looked
but
at?
I remember that. Yeah,
Remember that?
The
I
little
know we've-
tanks
yeah.
where you put the beads on them to
Right.
track damage and range and whatever.
Maybe it's the last game they
It
did.
could be. I know we've covered it before.
Trench
just regular
Club.
trench clubs. This is a legacy version of that. Okay.
Got it.
So this is
Nice
actually a
font
legacy
change.
game?
That's good. Yeah, it is. It's a legacy game. It's not just called that.
Right.
I love this. This is really funny. The spoiler alert. They're like, try not to guess what these pieces are. don't.
Definitely not
You
a
know, you have
show.
no idea. Will there be a horse? You'll never know.
No idea.
Yeah. Yeah, the blur effect didn't really cut it.
That's not so hot.
And then there's secret miniatures. That's fine.
Yeah.
I guess I would have to know how much I
video-
like the original game. I wouldn't buy the legacy. I'd have to go back and play the first one.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
The video looked interesting enough, you know what I mean? It's definitely a war game first with legacy elements, but I haven't really seen that before.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not counting Risk, okay? I mean, that's Risk.
Mm-hmm.
A war game proper like this, like one outside of my wheelhouse, that is also a legacy game. They might have done them already, but I haven't seen one. I think that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
It is,
It's like
it is.
alternate history. Very quickly, it becomes. If it doesn't start as alternate history,
Right.
very quickly becomes alternate history. That's cool.
Okay. All right. Apparently, Mark did a video on this. Street. Chris says that Mark.
Yeah, we did one on this one
Yeah.
too. It looks
okay.
great. The whole thing looks good. I just think I would want to play the first game before I got Legacy.
Sure. Sure.
Chicken! Now, if you just glance at this and didn't look at the numbers or anything, just look at
Right.
this, I would think coming to Target next week.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But it said,
And I assume it will.
but this is from Keymaster. This does not look like their last
It's
couple
from
games.
Keymaster and Scott Alms, and I was looking at it and I'm like, I wanted to be dismissive of it. I have to be honest with you. I wanted to be like, okay, because I don't really love
Should
the
have
look
tried
of it.
harder.
I don't really love the look of it, but I like the stupid little hook.
What's
Like
the hook, Mike?
the hook is the idea that you start with a certain number of dice. I guess they're the white dice, and then if you roll eggs, then you hatch new dice.
Right. But
I like that. It's stupid. It's push your luck, and then you pass them
that's
all
it
on
right
to the
there.
next person.
That's it. I think that's what the hook
Yeah.
was. That then you're also determining the pool
Right.
for the next person.
Right. I like push your luck dice games. I was like, okay, but this, I would play this. Am I going to back it? Absolutely not.
No.
But I would
But would I
100% play it.
Would I pick it up at a 3
Yeah.
for 2, a Target deal?
Right.
Absolutely. This
Yeah.
would
That's
be my
kinda where I'm
add-on,
at, I guess,
but
yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm backing it because I think it looks cool.
Do you? Okay,
Oh, I
good. I mean,
despise the look. Let me
yeah,
be
I don't
clear.
love the look of it, but
I-
I like the hook. And I
Yeah.
like push your luck
I
dice
think
games.
it's interesting.
I looked at this one probably the most out of literally every one of them this week, just because I kept going, what possessed Keymaster Games to publish this?
Yeah.
When they've been on nothing but fantastic project to amazing looking thing, and then they publish chicken ! That looks like this,
Yeah.
and is basically zombie dice.
It's very close. It's close.
I like zombie dice.
So do I, but also we have zombie dice.
I think that's a little reductive. I think.
Oh, of course, yes.
I
I
think
mean,
it's-
I'm being
yeah,
hyperbolic on purpose. My
Yeah.
point being, this one, I just don't get it. I mean,
Well, what are they selling it for? I mean,
182. I don't
What?
know. No, that was a joke.
$20
Sorry.
bucks.
35 for the deluxe edition.
For the deluxe.
20,
The deluxe
20,
for
yeah.
screen
20 for
printed
retail edition.
chickens?
right.
Come on.
I mean, honestly, maybe they just sat down and played it and it was like, this is fun. We can
I'm
do
all
this.
in.
You know?
This is going to be
Yeah,
great.
no, I get it.
I love
I'm
it.
not as enamored with it. Don't get me wrong. I really like Keymaster Games. They're one of my favorite publishers. They are. I don't get this move. Maybe it's fantastic and I'm clearly wrong. Maybe I'll sit down and play it and go, man, this is top 10 of the year material. I was so wrong.
And I'll be like, don't touch the game.
Or maybe they're just trying something new, you know?
Well, yeah,
they just
maybe
need
that's
to
it
just
too,
branch
but-
out.
This looks like a trifle, but it looks like a fun
So
one. to me. I
Camilla,
don't
you
know.
mentioned that you might pick this up as a 2-for-1 deal at Target. Is there subtle Target advertising pre-printed into the game itself?
Those
look at the
chickens.
Look at the wheel of the
That-
tractor.
yeah.
And then look at the
those
chickens.
chickens.
Yeah,
I'm
you
telling
put,
you.
you put those together
This is,
and you got Target.
I don't want to say this is a Target exclusive, but
Oh my gosh, subliminal messages got me.
Uh-huh.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not backing this, but I 100% want to play it.
Oops, you busted. Poop symbol. Okay. Well, I think it's interesting looking.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this is one I'd play.
Okay, here's our one backer kit. And this is from Weird Giraffe Games. So Weird Giraffe makes, well, weird little games. And this one is Explosion in the Laboratory, a push your luck style game, which looks...
Has anyone played the first one?
I have Fire in
Okay,
the Library. I
wanna
think you
know.
played that too,
I
right?
have not... I played a lot of her
okay.
games. I've not played Fire in the Library.
I have played that one. It's got like 4 decks, if I remember, of cards. It's a bit of a push your luck type of a thing. I remember it as being pleasant. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I don't remember. Maybe like a 6 or something like that.
okay.
I think that's a good description of her company.
Yeah.
Pleasant games. The
Yeah,
last
yeah.
one I played was the one with dice in a western town, which for
Oh,
some
right. Tumbletown.
Tumbletown, yes.
Yeah.
And I like that one.
I don't love the look of this. The cards are pretty rough. The cards are pretty rough.
I had a hard time with this. I got about as far as there. Those
Yeah.
cards, I couldn't go past that.
Yeah.
And they tell you over and over again how simple it is. It's so simple. It's so simple. And then I look at the graphics, and I'm like, I'm still not getting it though. Like the cards are so busy, and you're just pointing to numbers on the cards.
Yeah.
Like I struggled with understanding this one.
It looks like
The whole simple thing. It's so
Yeah.
simple. I can't tell you. I've watched a lot of reviews of other people reviewing some board game, and the stopping point for me is almost always when I'm looking at a game that is this big, has a rule book that's 28 pages long, and they're like, it's like a light to light medium game. I'm like, you're done talking. No,
Right.
it's not. Okay, I don't care what your scale is. You need to account for other humans.
Right.
I mean, this one is only like
It's
what,
super
20
cheap.
cards or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like
It's a-
that.
it's
Like
a
also
micro
a
game.
very micro game, and you're like, then why don't I get it? Why are the cards like this? I only have 20 cards. One, why is it like that? And I don't see.
I think it looks cool.
I did think it was
You
interesting.
like that, the arrangement of bottles thing?
Oh, that makes me think of some sort of logic puzzle.
Well, I guess it also has a push your luck element, where you choose your ingredients by going through, and then you have to shuffle the cards and lay them out, and then depending on how they come out, depends on if your concoction exploded or not.
Yeah.
You
If
know,
I
and
remember
so
correctly,
it's-
the original game was a push your luck as its main mechanism too,
Okay.
so it would make sense.
So it's like how that comes from those cards, I don't know.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, the gameplay, that's what it's like, which sounded interesting. I just don't see a connection between that, which sounds interesting, and those cards.
This is the prequel to Fire in the Library, which means if you don't play it, Fire in the Library will cease to exist.
That's correct.
No, that's not how it works.
All right, we're going to take a look at some non-Kickstarter stuff. I need stupid stuff from Kickstarter, folks, or interesting or weird stuff. Send it to me at tom@dicetower.com, and I might stick it in one of these episodes. Today, I actually found one on my own.
Oh,
It's
Right.
it?
It's
Which
the
one
last
is it?
one.
Look at
the one
you.
we haven't seen? Did
No,
you put
no,
it in
no,
one?
no.
We have a
Oh,
new
okay.
one?
This one, well, I'm not going to lie. I'm straight up backing this. I don't care.
Shocking.
Wait, why are you backing this? Why aren't you doing the whole office party thing? Did you see the last pledge? Scroll all the way down. We can have an office party.
What now?
You didn't see this? They'll come and make pizza for you, and
Hello?
everyone gets a bottle of this.
Hello.
I think we're a little outside the range to get to be within like 50 miles of Jacksonville, but we could totally.
Wait a minute.
But
You
listen,
definitely
it's
thinking
okay.
It's in Jacksonville.
Yes, it's in Jacksonville. We can get an Airbnb.
Tom, we can
Tom.
work
How
something out
expensive?
here.
Guys, I can get pizza right down the street.
No.
But can
We're
you
getting
get
pizza?
with
We
pizza
can work
Monstah?
something out here.
I'm saying.
I don't care. I'm done. I'm on Tom's team for this, guys. We're getting pizza today.
Oh,
Okay.
I would split an Airbnb
If they
for the
were-
$300 pizza
If
party.
they would have come to here for $300, I would have considered that because a big pizza party is not
Yeah,
cheap
because
anyway.
it's up to 15 people. You can't host a pizza party for 15 people for $300 and walk away with
Apparently,
a
you
tub
don't know
of
about this place
seasoning.
called
Chuck E.
Little
Cheese.
Caesars.
Well, I didn't say a kids.
CC's
I didn't say a kid's birthday party. I said.
Is there a Chuck E. Cheese's in Jacksonville?
Okay, anyhow, I love this sort of thing. I like spices, especially ones that don't have salt, because
Yeah.
and you can put this stuff, these pizza toppings, and I've had a lot of these in my life. They're also always really good on every Italian dish. They're good on
Yeah,
lasagna.
right.
They're good on spaghetti. You know,
On
I like.
eggs.
Yes, they're good on eggs.
I was kind of tempted by this too, I got to tell you.
Yeah.
These look good. I've never backed food on Kickstarter. I know you have many times, though.
Yes.
Many times.
And you haven't really been disappointed by them not sending you something,
My success rate is
It's really good, right?
It's
higher than board
100% with the
games.
exception of the
Yeah, but you got the
Oh, the
thing.
maple
But you
syrup.
the
got-
maple syrup
But you
packs.
got what they said you would get,
That's
and
true.
it is what they said
I
they would be.
imagined something else in my head.
It's
I don't
maple
know.
syrup in a bag. You got it, but you did it to
100%.
yourself.
Yeah, they sold it as an energy pouch. It's maple syrup.
It's-
Yeah, I mean, there's sugar will get you high. But yeah, I like these. I like the look of it. I like the idea of it. That's cool. Of the 4, there's a pledge for I think $30,
Yeah.
or something like that, where you get 3 of the 4,
Right.
and 3 of these sound good.
Yeah.
Why can't I? Why would I not want all 4? Why did you just want any 3?
I'm just saying that's what I would get, Tom. There's one I don't care for.
Okay, well, let's go to the top, and I'm going to guess which one
There's
Z
all
doesn't
4.
like.
And a hat. And a hat.
Tell me what they are.
Spicy, savory, sweet, and smoky.
Yeah. So there's savory Italian. Mm-hmm. There's smoky Italian. That's what Mike's nickname is.
Well.
Spicy Italian. Oh wait, never mind. Go see previous answer.
I'm going to guess I know which one Z doesn't
And
like,
then
and it's the one
sweet
that
Italian.
I'm probably most interested in. I like the sweet.
Which one do I not want out of the 4?
I think you don't want the sweet.
I agree.
Which one do you think?
Same
Sweet?
thing. Sweet.
I was gonna say sweet.
No, the hot.
Oh, I thought
You
you
want
like
the
hot
hot?
stuff.
Yeah, but the hot is just I can get that in so many places.
Oh, okay.
No, but like something more than just red pepper.
spicy
Like you
is one
actually
I'm
put
least-
some stuff with it.
I'd be least
Give
interested
some
in that.
depth to it.
That one you think is
the,
good. Okay.
The hot I'm excited about.
Oh, the sweet
It's
sounds
spicy.
interesting. There's
Yeah.
honey in it, but it's
Yeah.
gonna be like savory.
Savory too.
But
yeah.
you don't like pineapple on pizza.
I don't. I'm not expecting it to be like a chunk of
So-
fruit on my pineapple. It's gonna have some
So if I
subtlety.
Sauce?
Nick brought his pizza
Yes!
points for today.
Whoa,
Yes!
Nick,
Nick,
you
Nick's
are
the MVP,
Yes!
folks.
champion.
Team Nick.
Well, we'll get pizza tomorrow. How's that?
That sounds
much as
I will rebel. Okay, that says for today.
lunch already went by today.
I'm sorry. Second breakfast.
Also, how are we going to eat pizza without Pizza Monstah? Got to have Pizza Monstah.
I'm not saying I don't already have this kind of thing already.
That's true. We do have some similar stuff,
All
don't
right.
we?
Now,
Yes.
you know the hot device that's seemingly getting hotter all the time, the computer mouse.
Yeah.
How many of these do we use in our office right now?
0.
None.
Chris.
Chris uses one.
Chris uses
Yep.
one? Oh, okay.
Isn't it Chris? One person uses it. I'm pretty sure. Chris, you're in the chat. Is
Yeah.
It was me for a while. I was like, oh, you know what? The mouse is so much better than a trackpad. And then I kept forgetting my mouse all the time.
Yeah.
And now I just use a trackpad for everything. If you need actual, very precision, if I play computer games, I'd probably use the mouse.
You probably won't use this mouse. For you
Yeah, but
get angry. You're like, oh no.
But I think this kind of has that trackpad feel to it almost.
Well,
where,
there's
you know,
a
it's
wheel.
like
There's a
the-
scroll
There's
wheel
a scroll
on it.
thing on it.
Right,
yeah.
and so it kind of has that feel. I'm with you, Tom. I think this is just a couple years, decade too late.
It's a couple decades too late, and also I feel like you would need a little bit of heft, right? If it's just this thing floating around over there, I just would feel like you wouldn't have the accuracy.
I guess it might be really cool. It seems neat. It seems like a real gimmicky thing, and it probably works fine. I can get a mouse down the street for $10 if I want a cheap
Right.
one, or an incredibly amazing ergonomic thing for a few more if I want that. And you
Right.
also have the plastic ones that fold down, so that's another thing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Why is the
those.
battery flying out of one but not the Air .0? In fact,
no
when the guy
battery in it.
smashes it, then how does it work? It has to have a battery.
It has a
built in.
charging
No,
cord.
it has
no,
a
it has a
char-
charging
it's a-
cord.
it's a-
Oh, the charging
It's a
USB.
charger.
Yeah, it's got a battery in it.
No, I mean, I think for portability, this is the most portable thing. The fact that it's flat, that it fits in the case, that you don't have to like put it in your purse or something like that. You know, it's not going to be bulky and get hit around and bang up your laptop. I think portability, this is a really cool thing.
It is.
5, 10,
Yeah,
15
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Also,
For me, for what I do,
like,
you know?
It just seems like we made the mouse incredibly portable. Also, your computer has this built into it, but please ignore that.
Right.
Buy this mouse.
I still use the little red.
Oh, in the middle
what
of
is that
that.
called?
Trackball?
No, the little red
track stick
like,
thing. What is
joystick
that
in the middle of your
called? Oh my
In the middle of the
gosh.
keyboard.
What is that called? Somebody
Oh,
will
I
tell
don't
us in the
know what it's
comments.
called.
That's like one of my least favorite computer
looks
accessories in the
terrible.
history of
That's
humanity.
terrible. 'Cause it's like you don't
so
feel it
bad.
moving either.
Right, no.
You're just like, I want to pressure it, and then it starts to move, and you're like, how does it know?
Right.
This is clearly immobile.
Yeah.
It's just that little red nub thing.
You remember the trackball too, though, right?
The
It was like
trackball,
the
sure.
big, like an 8-ball.
Trackball's not bad. Those
It's okay,
they still
yeah.
some people
I
still
don't
use
like
that.
those.
Yeah, I'm not big on
I didn't like
but-
those at all, no.
All right. Oxygen not included. A farting puffed replica plush.
I love this.
We just
This
have
is
no
cute.
frame of reference, but it is very cute, and for as stupid as it is, and because sometimes there's things that are supposed to be
mind-blowing farts.
some things are supposed to be grotesque, right? And this is supposed to be grotesque, but it still is cute. It's a fine line, right, where something is grotesque but cute. So I don't know.
If it didn't come with the tail,
Yeah,
the tail's a little too much.
the tails, I guess. Yeah, that's where
That's
it went
what the
too far.
fish looks
But
like.
that's what
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's
'cause
what
it's
the
from
little
the-
design looks like.
Do we know any of these games? I did not know
Yeah, I
any
know
of the
Don't
games.
Starve.
I had no
Okay.
frame of reference to that.
Yeah,
I didn't
it's a
either.
video game company. They make, I don't know, the guy said it. Don't Starve, I recognized. This new one, I don't know. What is it, No Oxygen Left, or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah,
it is?
that's
But yeah, I know Don't Starve. It's a cute little survival game. They,
All right.
they make some nice indies.
They're saying it's good in the comments. They're saying it's a great game.
Okay.
But this is one, not even knowing the game, I am tempted to get this for my son.
Wow, that is
This is
one
cute.
hip
Absolutely.
family.
That is.
It is
Oh
very
my
cute.
word,
Also, I
they're
like
hip.
that
Also,
shirt.
they're not related at all. But
No.
They're also, one guy's walking and the other, I don't know what's happening.
I think he's dancing.
Got it.
These were clearly all not.
Not in the
Definitely-
studio at the same time.
Yeah,
but-
definitely
yeah,
in different
definitely
spots. All right, and last but not least, the Keybow.
Is
This
that
is
one you
what I
found
found.
on your own?
I'm
Good
so
job.
proud of
This is
myself.
Are you
fantastic.
the one backer for $1?
No, I'm not. I don't want my name associated with this.
3 days
The
to
handheld vocoder, breath controller, talk box. We will be buying one for Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
And he would actually accept it and try to play it.
Of course,
Yes.
yeah.
There
Yeah, it's
are-
a
there
vocoder
are-
with a curve that you can wear with a strap. Look at this. Look at that design. That's
I have-
amazing.
There are only two. There are only two uses of this talkbox vocoder that I think have crossed over. You have the Peter Frampton. Frampton Comes Alive. That's the thing. Trust me, that's like one of the best-selling albums of all time. And he's got that one song where you basically you stick this tube in your mouth that is connected to your guitar or your keyboard.
Yeah, it was on an episode of Friends.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. I guess Ross did that, right? Yeah, and then there's Roger with Zap. So, like, 2 people in the chat will know who I'm talking about. But otherwise, who's looking
Now
for
we're gonna have
this?
20 comments
I
of people
don't know.
going, Mike's music tastes are so amazing.
I worked in the music store for many years. I have a lot of useless knowledge. But, like, who's asking for more vocoder, right?
One person.
I was gonna say, I
One
can answer the
person is,
question.
but they're only willing to pay $1 for it.
Right, I guess, yeah.
Chris is all in, apparently.
All right, well, let's see if it goes up.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Chris,
Wait,
we're
dude.
watching
Yeah,
you.
who's backing this?
Chris
Let's
is-
go.
Chris
Put your
is
wallet
backing
where
it.
your mouth is.
All right, so picks of the week. Here. We'll save Mike to last because he has like 80 different things he can choose between.
I do.
I'm gonna go first for once. Mine is going to be, where is it? The Queen's Dilemma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I would pick Oathsworn any other day, but I've already played Oathsworn. This does add a little bit more, but I haven't even finished Oathsworn yet. I think Oathsworn's amazing, but this is new to me because it's a sequel to King's Dilemma, and I'm really excited about it.
Okay.
I really like the story of the last one. I'm excited to play through this one. I'm a little legacied out in many ways.
Yeah.
This I'd pull out.
Yeah.
For sure.
Looks great. It really looks interesting.
What about you?
I'm doing, there were so many good choices this week. I think I'm going to go with the Alhambra.
Yeah.
The Red Palace or whatever that's
okay.
called. Yeah.
I thought this might be your pick,
Yeah. I mean, I'm a fan of this game. I got a lot of it, so this is not something I would necessarily back, but if this showed up, I would be super into it, and I would certainly jump on it right away and see how's this different, how's it play, how does it all come together? Because it's a proven system to me with a couple of tweaks on top of there.
You don't mind the fact though, the one minor thing I wondered is it looks like every other Queen game. Like there's no, it looks kind of meh.
I feel like it should
It looks like
everything.
Alhambra too, though.
It
I guess
should.
that's how I think of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Camilla.
Gosh, this is like so hard.
I have my guess of which
had-
one you'd
Which
pick.
one?
I think you picked the hiking game.
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
with the Hike It.
yeah.
I'm gonna go with Hike It just because it also has that like pulling at my heartstrings. Like I love.
Well, you've got so much of a
smoking
personal
stuff. There's
connection
so much
there,
personal connection here with it that I just couldn't. But gosh, I mean the octopus game, the steampunky. The second one we looked at, I can't remember what it was called. Whatever.
Delta.
Delta. That one. The first one I mean, there's just so many, but I have to give the nod to Hike It.
Gotta hike it.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, this was tough, man. I mean, Cosmoctopus, Life of Amazonia, but I'm going with
That's it.
Aqua Garden. I mean, this is one of my favorite games of the last couple of years. It's very likely going to be, in my top 100. And so I'm excited because this is
on your top 100 now. Now no one will watch.
I said maybe it'll be there. I don't know. But I think it's cool that this small publisher, $220,000 for a game like this, right? That doesn't. It's not like you see it a lot of places.
Right.
So it's amazing me it's doing this well. And what this tells me is that everybody that backed Aqua Garden is backing this, and a number of people.
Yeah.
That were introduced to Aqua Garden are now getting it.
It's all about
It tells
600.
me that Mike DeLucio is an influencer. That's what it tells me.
Look, I'll let you say
What are the
that. I
numbers
prefer
on
to
that?
let other people do that.
It's 600. I looked them up already. 600 of new people, and the rest are returning.
Yeah,
Really?
and which tells you something that
About the game.
Right. If people didn't like it, they're not going to back this. So
How many of
this
those
is my
people
pick of
came
the
to our
week.
convention and played it with Mike?
I don't know.
All 1,400. He just sits there and he plays. He does the whole Grandmaster chess thing. Goes down the line and
Oh,
plays
wow,
Aqua Garden
yeah,
with a whole bunch of
nice.
people.
But you're right though. This is a game that you set it up at the convention, and before you're done with setup, you don't have to get the green flag.
No,
right.
people
Somebody's
are
like,
gonna
oh,
sit
what's
down.
that?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, folks. Tomorrow we have two things going on. We got Board Game Smorgasbord in the morning, and remind me we need to talk about something afterwards about that.
We do.
Okay.
And then tomorrow afternoon, very exciting, the best board game publishers of all time. You get to vote on that.
We're just giving color commentary.
Very colorful commentary. But which publisher is your favorite? Which one's the best? We don't even know who's going to win. We have our thoughts.
We've had some interesting little mini conversations. We haven't wanted to talk too much about it because we want to save it for. But we are.
I'll tell you right now, I don't have any front
I
runner
have
in my
no.
head.
I've got.
I haven't seen much of it actually, so
Yeah.
I'll take some notes for myself and see
Yeah.
who I put my
That's a
vote
good
on.
thing. I think I'm going to
Interesting.
put what I think are the top 3.
Yeah, let's all do that. Let's
Yeah.
write our well,
Let's talk about it when we're done here. Just kidding. Let's talk about it right now. Yes, let's write down the top 12.
well, the top 4.
Top
Top
4?
four.
Okay.
Because you can
4?
figure out the top 4 because it will be a bracket.
Oh, that's a good idea. So a final 4. Pick your final 4.
Final four.
That's
Got
what
it.
it's called.
Final 4, top 2.
No, you stop while you're
what?
behind.
No, final 4,
boy.
we got to pick the one you think will win.
Final 4 in the winner.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay,
All right.
okay.
That's fair.
All right.
And we're putting real money on it.
Pizza party.
The pizza party.
Pizza party money.
$50.
Alrighty, folks. Thanks so much for watching.
Pledge manager.
Oh, Pledge Manager.
I already mentioned at the beginning.
Do it again.
Again.
Okay.
Another one.
But go to our also,
it.
if you haven't backed our Kickstarter, you could still do that for like 2 days.
Yes.
Also, you should see the art for next year's Kickstarter.
You should.
It's great, but we'll be showing that to you later on. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Millie Cleghorn.
Not Mike DeLucio.
Have fun eating pizza.